Hey guys, Michael with Quiet Lawn. I made a little video not long ago riding around in our van talking about the upcoming recession. I wanted to make a video with a little bit more detail and kind of what I expect. I'm not an economist, I'm not an expert on this, but I am somebody that has lived through two recessions in my working adult life. I'm not that old, but I'm in my late 30s. And when I first started becoming of working age in like high school, that was during the dot-com bubble. And I remember the struggle of not being able to get a job. You know, it was almost impossible to get a job at a grocery store or McDonald's or basically anywhere that, you can pretty much take for granted you're going to be able to get a job at these days. That wasn't like that when I was growing up. And in fact, a lot of the reason that I continued my lawn care business from middle school into high school was the fact that I couldn't get another job. It was just really hard to come by. So that was my first experience with a recession and seeing the impact and all of the layoffs and, not being able to find a job. My second experience was obviously 2008. I remember how impactful that was. I remember having to relocate about 2.5 hours away from where I lived to be able to get a good job with an opportunity to be able to move up because it was just a challenge to be able to do that in most places. What I'm saying is just based on my experience and what I've seen during recessions. I'm just sharing that with some of you guys that are younger, that haven't been in the workforce in, the last 14 years that we've had a great economy. Because, I think you're going to see some things, I know you're going to see some things you've never seen before. And, I can totally understand somebody in that younger category, seeing that things are constantly improving, that you can go basically get any job that you want and make really good money for it, that you can pick up an endless supply of customers. I can see how that if you've never seen it go the other way, you would think that that's just normal and that's what it's always like and that's going to continue. And the unfortunate thing is, if you continue that mentality and you're not ready for what's coming, it's going to have a big impact on your business and your life. So, I just want to share my experience and what I expect to happen in this recession, similar to what I've seen in my two previous experiences, and based on just knowledge and, the stuff that I know and the experience I have. First thing is, it's going to get harder to get customers. You're going to see as the economy continues to worsen into 2023 and you start getting big effects on the real estate market. You start to get layoffs in other industries than like tech, which you're seeing a lot of layoffs right now. You're going to see that people are going to have a knee-jerk reaction, and you're going to see that people are going to start tightening their belts because they are afraid of what's coming. So you're going to see that customers are going to be canceling, or that it's going to be harder to get customers. You are going to see that because of these layoffs and because, all of these construction companies that have been working full force for the last, 6-7 years building houses, and their employees have been making great money, you're going to see that once that stops and people aren't paying money to build houses anymore, or people aren't paying to improve their houses that are going down in value, you're going to see a lot of those employees freed up. So I think it's going to make getting employees easier, because a lot of that talent that we haven't had access to because they've had good jobs for the last several years is going to be back in the market in the next 1 to 2 years. So I'm excited about that because that's been our single biggest challenge over the last few years, as I'm sure many of you have had the same problem as you try to grow. And I'm excited about being able to build some good talent in our team and bring in some more talent. Project-based work is going to take a big hit, which I talk about in a lot of videos, why we prefer to go for recurring work, even though it's grown our business slower. We could have been at $1 million if we wanted to focus on sod work and stuff like that. But we've chose to take the slower road and focus on recurring work. I'll make a video, but I think we've gone from where our recurring work was about 50% of our work a few years ago to now I think it's about 95% of our revenue. So we've really tried to pivot and get most of our work recurring because it's less affected. People are not going to pay $20,000 for you to put a patio in their house when their house is going down in value, or worse, their house is worth less than what they owe on it. They're not going to invest, $20,000 to have you put a patio in or do something like that or make other improvements. But they still need somebody to mow their grass or treat their lawn or trim their shrubs and stuff like that, because unless it gets really bad, most people are still not going to get out and do that type of work themselves. They're still going to want to hire a company. So it's a lot less affected. And it's a lot cheap. It's a lot smaller price to pay somebody $40 to cut your grass than it is to pay somebody $20,000 to do your patio. Companies with a lot of debt, companies that have, and you saw this in 2008, and it happens every cycle, is you had all these construction companies, or you could say, landscape and install companies. They thought that it was never going to end, and they bought, they're buying $150,000 trucks, they're buying brand new equipment, they're buying $1 million houses, and they're buying, boats and whatever else, stuff that people do. They buy all this stuff, and they think that the work's never going to stop coming in. And when that work comes to a screeching halt with the economy and the real estate market, those people get hit because those payments don't stop coming. Those $800,000 payments every month, those keep coming whether or not you're making revenue or not. So you're going to see people that got very bloated with their businesses. They took on a lot of bad debt. They financed all of their equipment. They bought equipment that they didn't actually utilize. They're only using it 1 or 2 days a week. Not that we're not guilty of, at times doing some stuff like this, but we just don't do it to a large degree. We all make these mistakes, but you're going to see companies that really did this, they're going to struggle, and unfortunately a lot of them are just not going to make it out. They're going to, end up going bankrupt or whatnot. The good thing, I very much look forward to a recession. I love downturns in the economy because it's opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities that come with it, and it's good for all of us in the end, because you're going to see that, over the last several years, a lot of us have become inefficient and bloated. Our overhead is much higher than it should be. We're not efficient in our processes, and, we're leaving lots of money on the table, because there's so much work to do. We're able to get the prices we want, and, we overhire. We have too many people. We're not efficient in our systems and how we deliver stuff. And you're going to see a lot of these inefficient and bloated companies struggle, which is why you see layoffs, because that's exactly what they're doing. These big, you're starting to see it with the tech companies, is they're starting to dial all that stuff in. They're starting to look at, hey, who do we need? Like, what processes do we need to cut out or improve? Do we need this extra staff for this? So the good thing that comes from these types of economies is that you see a lot of improvement in how businesses operate. They operate a lot more lean and efficient. When I relocated in 2009, I relocated and started working at a casino in North Carolina. And, the casino took probably a 40 or 50% hit to their revenue. And there were huge initiatives for them to improve all their processes and become a better company, because they had gotten bloated in the time before that. So we regularly embrace the philosophy of Kaizen, which is Toyota's philosophy of constant improvement. So, we would go from department to department every couple of weeks, and we would look at all the processes that each department did, and we would look at ideas and look at ways that we could streamline those processes, make them more efficient, cut out steps that weren't necessary or that didn't benefit the overall process or result. And you know, that's one of the best things that comes from these times, is that companies really learn how to run a lean business. And if you can do that and you can survive the recession, you are really going to be on top when you come out of it, because you're still running that lean, mean machine, and all that work starts to come back in. You know, the big thing for me is, you know, I say all this, and I don't want to scare you younger guys, but I personally look forward to this because I think we need a correction. I think our labor force needs a correction. I think it will be very good for employees to see that you can't just you can't just burn your bridges, leave a job today and get 10 other jobs the same day. You can't be an inefficient employee who doesn't provide value to your employer. I think there needs to be a reset with everything to improve those things. And I personally want to take advantage of all these opportunities. Is it going to be harder to get customers? Yes, I think that's going to be harder. But I think there's going to be a lot of our competition that has made some of these mistakes that's going to lose their customers, and that's an opportunity for us to take more market share. I 100% intend on growing and growing massively during this recession. I am very excited about the ability to be able to pick up talent that other people are not able to keep. So I want to continue to build my team, have a better team, so that when we get into a better economy, we're in a better position. As far as getting customers, unfortunately, most of these people, one of the first expenses they will cut is marketing. They're going to focus on paying their debt. They're going to focus on, just surviving, and they're going to cut their marketing budget. So, I plan on fully spending more on marketing. While it will be overall harder to get customers, I think just from the businesses that are going out of business and, us marketing when other people are not, I think we're going to be able to grow our business significantly. So look at the opportunities. Is it going to be, all rainbows and butterflies? No. It's going to be a struggle. We don't know how bad it's going to get. But the more we can prepare for it, the leaner we can make our business, the more we can get rid of debt that doesn't serve the business or generate a profit. And the more we can take care of our team and our customers that we have now, the better we'll be, because it's going to take more effort to keep your customers, because they're going to be more likely to cancel. So what are you doing to retain your customers? What are you doing to take care of them? And what are you doing to keep them? Mike Andes talked about a lot of this stuff at Landscape Summit, and if you are a member of his Landscape Business course, you'll be able to see the videos of him talking about that this year, and a lot of his opinions and other people's opinions. So I would recommend, if you have that, or if you don't have that, go ahead and join Landscape Business course, because there was a lot of other good information there. But this is my opinion. This is what I expect to happen. I'm excited about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and kind of your experiences. Do the best we can, and we'll all make it out of the other end, and we'll be better businesses for it. Have a good day.